Students, and welcome to my channel Sequential Biology. In this video we will discuss about three different type of skull which are present in amniotes. In the amniotic skull can be three types: the Anapsid, Diapsid and the Synapsid. Then what will be the basic differences of this Anapsid, Diapsid and the Synapsid type of skull, and also in which organism these different type of skull can be found. The first we will go through Anapsid type of skull. Actually, in Anapsid type of skull, there are present no temporal fossa. What is temporal fossa or what is the temporal fenestra? And you know, in skull there are present different type of bone, the frontal, parietal, occipital, temporal, so different type of bones can be found in skull. In the temporal region, if there are present any hole, then this is called as temporal fossa. But in Anapsid type of skull, there are present only two holes, one is nostril and another is eye orbit. And you know, the eyes are located in eye orbit. Just behind the eye orbit, usually these temporal fossa or the fenestra are present, but in Anapsid type of skull, there are no temporal fossa or the fenestra just behind the eye orbit. So this type of skull is called as Anapsid type of skull. The skull, only the nostril and the eye orbit are present. There are no temporal fossa. This type of skull can be found in turtle and extinct reptiles. Next, we will go through the Diapsid type of skull. In Diapsid type of skull, just behind the orbit, there you can find the two holes or the temporal fossa in the temporal region of the skull, and so this type of skull is known as Diapsid skull. So this Diapsid type of skull can be found in all living reptiles, and the two opening, so these are the two openings which are present just behind the orbit, called the upper and the lower, are present in the temporal region of skull. And this type of skull are present in living different type of reptiles like the Lepidosauria. Lepidosauria means snake, lizard and the tuatara, and the Archosauria, that is the crocodiles. So the snakes, lizard and the tuatara and the crocodile skull are Diapsid type of skull. Next, we will discuss the Synapsid type of skull. And this Synapsid type of skull are found in two living lineages of reptiles, that is the birds and mammals. Synapsid type of skull can be found in two lineages of reptiles, that is birds and mammals. And it is a very important characteristic features of mammals that their skull is Synapsid type of skull. What is the Synapsid type of skull? Just behind the orbit, there are present a single temporal fenestra or the single temporal fossa. In case of Diapsid type of skull, behind the orbit, there are present two temporal fenestra or the temporal fossa. But in Synapsid type of skull, only one or the single temporal fenestra or the fossa can be found. So only one temporal fenestra, a hole behind the eye socket on each side of the skull, can be found, and this type of skull are known as Synapsid type of skull. This single opening present in the temporal region of skull, then single opening present in temporal region of skull, and the jaw muscles passes through this temporal fenestra, right? So these are the basic three different type of skull: the Anapsid, Synapsid and the Diapsid. And all amniotes skull are three type: the Anapsid, Diapsid and Synapsid. And hope you have understand the differences among these three types of skull. So thank you, and that's it.